All right, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushai, Brakati Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'ashomer Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone for teaching and ruling well in the scriptures. And salutations to Akim across the world, pushing his word in truth and in sincerity and with charity. And from what you see here, I have a video from RT News. All right, and it is going into the feud between the U.S. and Venezuela, the Venezuelan president. And this just signifies that you Americans, you so-called white people, you Edomites, you're definitely at your end, man, because you have us on the highways and byways preaching your downfall, and it's all biblical. It's all prophetic. All right. And these are the times we're coming into because the earth is starting to spew you out. All right. Because other nations are starting to see that you're no good. You're a very, very deceptive and deceitful race of people and nation, wherever you are on the planet, man, whether you be German, whether you be American, French. All right, this is the light of the world coming to the forefront. The light, all right, which the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are pushing as being their heritage. And the light is being shined on you so-called white people, you self-proclaimed white people who are the biblical Edomites. And right before a nation goes down, the prophets are always on the scene. That's why you see this. But, nevertheless, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, all right, is getting furious, and he's getting irritated by you Americans, man, because all you do is go into other countries, you lie, all right, you bring up false allegations, all right, and you also try to assassinate people, which they're gonna try to do to the men of the Lord as well. So the world is seeing the wicked, all right, who are the so-called Caucasians. The world is seeing you Caucasians for your wickedness, man. All right. But through the scriptures, we know that you are the biblical Edomites. OK, so now we're coming into the time where your destruction draweth nigh. The earth is spewing you out. All right. This is why your country is failing. And this is why you're being backed into a corner. And we know you're going to go out with your guns blazing because you were given the sword as a blessing. All right. But now, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, we have the information, we have the knowledge, all right, to break down this reality that you currently control in wickedness. All right, but now it's coming to an end because you have all the nations getting angry with you. And these other nations, it says in the scriptures, they're going to bite you and they're going to eventually destroy you. All right, and this is the beginning. All right, Matthew 24 tells you this is the beginning of sorrows. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to get I'm going to play this video and I'm going to get some scriptures, and Lord willing, is edifying. All right, here we go.
With Venezuela in the midst of political upheaval, the country's president has sent a warning to his people. Nicolas Maduro says they shouldn't trust the faked version of events in the country that the United States is trying to promote. He even went further, threatening the US with a second Vietnam-like war.
Since they cannot fake Venezuela and Maduro having weapons of mass destruction to intervene against us, they now make up lies on a daily basis and false news to justify aggression against our country.
And this is the tactics of the devil that the Bible speaks of, the so-called white man, self-proclaimed white man. All right, this is what they do. They lie on you, they slander you, they demonize you. Why? Because they know they have no standpoint in righteousness. So they have to commit their wickedness. They have to lie, deceive, all right, rape, rob, and murder. Why? Because they're wicked. Okay? And this is what we're telling you on the highways and byways. This is what we're telling you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Whether you hearken or not, that's on you. All right, whether you want your life or not, that's on you. But we are out there through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai to proclaim the truth. All right, and to describe, all right, the wicked. And from what you've seen here, the President Maduro, he just said that they're going to try to lie. All right, they're going to try to form some deceptive way to demonize him and his country. All right, and this is just this is the tall tale signs of the devil that the Bible speaks of. We're not ignorant of your devices. All right, and now the world is becoming aware of the treachery of you so-called white people, you Edomites. Okay, this is Psalms 58:3. It says the wicked. All right, I'm going to go into that word, the wicked. All right, it says the wicked.
Strong's H7563. Rasha.
All right, it says the wicked, All right. The wicked criminal, the guilty one guilty of crime. Wicked, guilty of sin. And then that word criminal goes back to the word crimson. And that's a derivative of red. And we know that you Edomites are red. Your forefather came out red. So we know who the wicked is on the planet. All right. So I'm going to go back. This is Psalms 58:3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. All right. Let's get that word estranged real quick.
Strong's H2114. Zur.
All right, it says to be estranged, to become estranged, strange, another stranger, foreigner, an enemy, loathsome, and that word loathsome means detestable, of breath, strange, prostitute, harlot. All right, because you're a detestable race. You come out detestable, and you come out speaking your lies, as it says here. Psalms 58:3. The wicked are estranged, are detestable from the womb, which means nobody likes you. You're scum of the earth from the womb. All right. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. All right. So that's what the United States government, all right, and all their leaders and corrupt politicians are going to do. In the end of the day, they're going to lie on you, as it says here. And as he has told the public here, the president of Venezuela.
Cannot fake Venezuela and Maduro having weapons of mass destruction to intervene against us. They now make up lies on a daily basis and false news to justify aggression against our country. Let's not allow another war like...
And this is what the so-called white man does. He demonizes you. He lies on you because there is no truth in the so-called white man. Okay, he is the father of lies. All right, they are the people of the wicked. They are the people of the Lord's curse. They are the basis of all men. All right, let me get this real quick. This is John 8. This is John 8:44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. So there is no truth in the so-called Caucasian race. The biblical Edomites, they cannot speak truth. They tell you lies. They slander you, which is why we call you the devil that the Bible speaks of. And if you go Google that word, the etymology of that word devil, it means slanderer, liar, and deceiver. And that's why we call you the devil that the Bible speaks of. John 8:44, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. So we know the attributes of you so-called white man, which is why the scriptures tells us never to trust thine enemy. You are our enemy, and we will never trust you. We hate you, and you are the devil that the Bible speaks of. And with this, the world is finding out. I'm going to rewind this a little bit more. The world is finding out that you are the devil and that you are a lying race and nation of people.
Since they cannot fake Venezuela and Maduro having weapons of mass destruction to intervene against us, they now make up lies on a daily basis and false news to justify aggression against our country. Let's not allow another war like Vietnam in Latin America. If the government of the United States intends to intervene against us, they will have another Vietnam, worse than you can imagine.
All right, so now we're coming into the times where these countries are starting to raise up against you Edomites, man. All right, you self-proclaimed white people. They're starting to raise up because why? Because we are in a time of your destruction. We are in a time of your downfall. The earth is spewing you out. Why? Because you are the wicked and you do not deserve to be in power anymore. And Yahweh Bashem Yahushua has sanctioned this from the beginning. You are the people of his curse. Psalms 58:4. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. Break their teeth, O power, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Lord. Let them melt away as waters which run continually. When he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be as cut in pieces. As a snail which melteth, let every one of them pass away, like the untimely birth of a woman, that they may not see the sun. So destruction and devastation is being prepared for you Edomites, or you or better known as you self-proclaimed white people worldwide. This is the time that the earth is going to begin to spew you out. Okay?
The warning comes after Washington announced its full support of self-declared interim President Juan Guaido. With the split becoming deeper by the day, Murad Gaziev looks at the choices for Venezuela.
Venezuela is a country of two realities. So stark, so profound are the difference.
And this is the split between truth and lies. On your left, you see another representative of Venezuela. But we know he's a coon because the United States supports him. So we know that he is that John 8:44, year of your father, the devil. All right. Because he cannot see that his enemy has supplanted him and has deceived him into thinking that they're on good terms. Now, the president on the right, the current president, all right, the Lord is using him to see, all right, and to plan, all right, and to come out with the truth of what's going on in the situation, man. And this situation shows that you so-called white people are trying to be the devil, and you're trying to deceive, all right, the world into thinking that this man, this man is bad, so you can have justification for going into their country. All right, which is why he said that this is going to be another Vietnam War, but worse, because these nations are ready to go to war with you Edomites, man. They're ready to go and play with guns and missiles with you. Okay, this is prophetic in itself. All right, let me get this. This is bear with me 1 second. This is Habakkuk. This is Habakkuk chapter 2. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, the so-called white man. Neither keepeth at home. This is why you see the so-called white man trying to take over everyone's country. He's in everyone's land. He has garrisons all around the world. Why? Because he is a proud man, and he neither keepeth at home. Who enlargeth his desire as hell. And I believe I did a lesson yesterday and showed, all right, and showed you the devastation that the so-called white man brings to your country through his sword, through his missiles, through his armies and soldiers. He makes the world a wilderness. He destroys the earth. All right. And as you can see, all right, he does not keep at home. All right. The United States is the home of the so-called self-proclaimed white man, the biblical Edomite. Yet he has garrisons in everyone else's countries. He takes everyone else's resources. All right. Why? Because he neither keepeth at home. Who enlargeth his desire as hell. This is why you see the earth in chaos. You see the earth in terrible shape. You see poison and trash all out in the ocean. Now you have trash bags floating around the earth. Okay. This man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, and he's trying to control the narrative of the earth. But the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, controls the narrative. Okay. And we have the script and we have the understanding of the narrative. The true righteous narrative in the end. And it describes you so-called white people as being the biblical Edomites, and that you have a terrible and very destructive end coming to you very soon. All right. Why? Yeah. Also because he transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as deaf. All right, this is why the other countries do not want you in their country. You so-called white people, your unrighteous decrees, all right, your politicians, your government, all right, your way of life is as deaf. And nobody wants you around them, and nobody wants you in their country, and nobody wants you controlling anything that has to do with them anymore. Why is this? Because you're at your end. Okay? It says, and cannot be satisfied. This is why they continue to this day to steal resources. They cannot have enough. All right. This is why the scripture says, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. This is why everybody's around you. And the Lord set you up like this because these other nations are going to turn on you eventually and go to war with you and destroy you, man. Okay. All right. You're only so strong, man. The Lord only gave you so much strength, man. But the Lord in the end, he said that these other nations are going to be used to destroy you. Okay. And America, Babylon the Great, is going to be a complete desert at the end of this. Okay, verse 6, it says, shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe, and we know that word woe means destruction. Destruction to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And that thick clay is going into debt. And you can see that the so-called white man's debt, okay, is never ending. I'm going to go and show you the national debt clock so you can see it. Okay. All right. He ladeth himself with thick clay, which is debt. All right. I'm going to show you the debt clock here. All right. And you can see, let's look at it in the middle. U.S. total debt. See that? Never ending debt. The red means that we are in debt. 72, let's see. Million. $72 trillion. You see? This is the so-called white man lading himself in debt, in thick clay. All right, you heap it unto yourself, all people, and it's getting worse. Look at all these red. Look at U.S. national debt, U.S. total debt, debt per citizen, debt per taxpayer, debt, total personal debt. All right, so Habakkuk 2, all right, is actually factual and is prophecy. You have laden yourself with thick clay, which goes into you laden yourself with lots of debt that you cannot pay back. That's therefore you use your sword to lie, deceive, rape, rob, and murder, because you know that you have no way out of this this destruction and this judgment coming to you. Okay. Habakkuk 2 and 7. Habakkuk 2 and 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? All the rape, robbery, murder, and theft that you've committed over the centuries is coming back to you. It's coming back to haunt you in these last days. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? And that's why, all right, let me go back to this. And that's why you have this this president in this spirit, man. Okay? You have this president in this spirit for a reason, man, because all these nations are going to rise up and vex thee because they're tired of you.
Since they cannot fake Venezuela and Maduro having weapons of mass destruction to intervene against us, they now make up lies on a daily basis.
Lies, slanders. Well, this is what the same thing they do to the men of the Lord. Why? Because they cannot continue to lie anymore. The world is seeing the so-called white man for who he is, the wicked and the devil that the Bible speaks of. And they're tired of it, and they're going to rise up suddenly and vex thee, okay, and bite thee, as the scripture says.
And false news to justify aggression against our country. Let's not allow another war like Vietnam in Latin America. If the government of the United States intends to intervene against us, they will have another Vietnam, worse than you can imagine.
All right, so all these nations are getting mad, man. He's saying you're going to have another war worse than you can imagine, man. Okay? This is what Yahweh Bashem Yahushua has sanctioned for you so-called white people in the last days. All right? Habakkuk 2 and 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee? And thou shalt be for booties unto them. And that's what's going to happen, man. You so-called white people are going to get destroyed in the end, man. Okay? Now we're patiently waiting. All right, because Yahweh Bashem Yahushua says he is faithful and his word is faithful. And now we see it coming to pass. These other nations are starting to get vexed and they're starting to get sick of you. Okay? You cannot go and continue to rape, rob, murder, lie, slander people. All right? Without there being a judgment, man. And we see this judgment coming around. Habakkuk 2 and 8. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. Because of men's blood and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. All right, so this is what you're doing. You go into other countries, you slander, you rape, rob, murder, take the resources. I can't reiterate this enough, man, because this is, and these are the ways of the so-called white man, the biblical Edomites. Okay, verse 9. Verse 9, woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high. All right, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people and hast sinned against thy soul. You so-called white people, you Edomites, man, you got it coming in these last days. And it's beautiful because we love you. We love judgment, and Yahweh Bashem Yahushua loves judgment as well. Okay?
The warning comes after Washington announced its full support of self-declared interim President Juan Guaido. With the split becoming deeper by the day, Murad Gaziev looks at the choices for Venezuela.
Venezuela is a country of two realities. So stark, so profound are the differences in opinion. In one reality, President Maduro is trying to put down a rebellion, stop an upstart, a usurper, Juan Guaido. He's trying to prevent mutiny in the army, even as we hear calls on CNN to supply rebels with weapons. And he's afraid that Trump has ordered him killed.
No doubt that Trump gave an order to kill me. He told the Colombian government, the Colombian mafia, to kill me. If something happens to me one day, Donald Trump and the Colombian president will be responsible.
There is also a parallel reality, born in no small part thanks to the United States. First,
right. And from that you can see the treachery of the so-called white man. This is, and everything in the scriptures written about the wicked is an attribute of the so-called white man, because the Lord has put it in the spirit of men to see, all right, in these last days, who the wicked is, man. Okay, this is Micah 2:1. Woe, and that word woe is destruction to them that devise iniquity. So you have Donald Trump plotting to kill this man, and that's not just lies, man. This man is serious. This is what the so-called white man does. He orchestrates your assassination, your death, all right. And this is the attributes and the personality of the so-called white man, Esau Edom. Okay. Micah 2:1, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands. So it is in the power of the so-called white man's hand, all right, specifically Trump, but we know he has bosses. It's in the power of their hand to orchestrate, all right, and plan and plot this man's death. And he has already received it and has already found out, which is why he's letting Trump know that if anything happens to him, Trump is going to be blamed, and that's probably going to lead to war. Okay. Micah 2:2, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Who does this, man? Who has oppressed the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American? All right. Who has destroyed and killed, raped, robbed, and murdered the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, as well as all the other nations on the earth? The so-called white man, the self-proclaimed white man, the biblical Edomite. Okay. But the Lord has prepared you for destruction, and you're not going to remove yourself from it. Micah 2:3, therefore, thus saith Yahweh, behold, against this family, the biblical Edomites, do I devise an evil from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil. And that's the time we're coming into, man. All right. The retribution and the destruction of the wicked upon the earth, man. So the earth can flourish again, man. You see? And that's it. And how is this gonna be carried out? By way of thermonuclear destructive missiles, man. Okay, these other nations are not weak as they used to be. This is what the so-called white man's pride will not let him see. But that's gonna be to his destruction. Pride goeth before destruction. Okay, I'm gonna get a little bit of the video and get one more scripture and get out of here. I don't want to make it too long.
Others, now Maduro, have long been a thorn in Washington's side. In this reality, Guaido is the real president. He is America's candidate. Trump congratulates...
Of course, because he's a super cooned out Jake. Might be a tear. All right. But that's not gonna help at all. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished, as the scripture says.
Him on becoming president. They discuss what to do with the former dictator Maduro. They discuss business.
You see that demonization? They call him a dictator. All right, the only people that dictate on the earth is the so-called white man, going from land to land, destroying, pillaging, rape, robbing, and murdering because he believes that he is the most high. You so-called white people are the dictatorship. That you sit in the seat of dictatorship. All right, you have the audacity to call somebody else a dictator. You see, this is the blasphemy and the wickedness and just the evil mentality of the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of, the biblical Edomite.
Politics, he has America's blessing and its protection.
I reiterate that the United States will hold Venezuelan security forces responsible for the safety of all U.S. diplomatic personnel, the National Assembly, and President Guaido. Any violence against these groups would signify a grave assault on the rule of law and will be met with a significant response.
Sure, now, with the guarantee of safety, of invulnerability, Mr. Guaido wasted no time before beginning to issue orders.
Soldiers of Venezuela, today I give you an order. Don't shoot the Venezuelan people. Don't shoot those who in a clear and constitutional way have been defending your family, your people, your work, your way of life. Today, soldiers of Venezuela, I give you an order. Don't repress peaceful demonstrations like before.
Such familiar scenes. We see this all over the world. Palestinians protesting in the occupied territories, the Yellow Vests in France, Catalan separatists in Spain.
And this is because the world is finding out that you Edomites are the fucking wicked and you are the devil that the Bible speaks of. Alright? And the world is tired of your oppression and your dictatorship across the world and across the seas and across the air. Alright? This is the end. All these nations shall rise up suddenly and vex thee, you biblical Edomites, which is going to ultimately lead into your destruction.
Protesters in the US, but when police bully, beat and arrest in those countries, that's fine and dandy. When they do it in Venezuela, that's suppression of democracy, an attack on the free world.
Maduro is not the democratically elected president of Venezuela. He tramples democracy, human rights, and the rule of law. The hope for
demonization at its best.
New Start is linked with the only democratically legitimate institution in the country, namely the National Assembly and its president, Juan Guaido. That's why, together with the EU, we have offered our political support to him.
For the US, Guaido is the cake. Sweet and pliable. But wait, there's icing on top.
Those agreements that have not been recognized by the National Assembly are illegal. We will not recognize illegal agreements. China has to understand that, and Russia has to understand that.
Two realities, two presidents, two governments, two Venezuelas. Of course, it cannot continue like this. A house divided cannot stand. Eventually, these two realities will merge. Let's just hope it won't be through civil war.
Alright. So as you can see, you've seen that video. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Alright, I'm going to get this. Because this other side, you know, siding with the U.S., with the devil. It's going to be to no avail. Okay? The wicked shall not go unpunished, as the scripture says, which I'm getting right now. Okay, you're not going to be able to defend the United States. They're going to get the destruction. All right, all these nations are getting backed by Iran and Russia. And the Russians and Iranians do not like America. It's prophecy. All right, let me get this. Bear with me. The hand. And this is the beauty of these scriptures, man. All right, we have the understanding of this reality in this specific time, man. Okay, get this. There we go. Proverbs. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 11. Book of Proverbs, chapter 11. Verse 21, it says, though hand join in hand. So though these the other side of the Venezuelan presidency and government is trying to join hand with the wicked, the so-called white man, the biblical Edomite, the devil of the United States, what does it say is going to happen to them? Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. The so-called white man is not going to go unpunished in these last days, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. Okay, so though you join hand in hand with this devil, man, the devil is not going to get punished. And if you continue to hold hands with him, like we know a lot of our people in politics and in these high government offices like to do, you're going to be destroyed with him. And that's prophecy. Okay. Jeremiah 51:6, it says, flee out of the midst of Babylon, which is America, Babylon the Great, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. So this is the judgment being described coming to the United States, which we know is Babylon the Great in the scriptures. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. All this rape, robbing, murdering, pillaging, dictatorship across the earth that they've been doing for centuries, man. This is the iniquity of the so-called white man. And they shall be cut off in these last days by thermonuclear destructive missiles. All right. Being shot at them by Russia, Iran, Venezuela, and all the other countries inside of the EU and NATO are going to turn against the United States as well. And this is going to be the cutting off of Babylon the Great, or America, and the nation of Edom. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time. What time? The times that we're living in. For this is the time of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. All right. Verse 7, Babylon hath been a golden cup, all right, in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. This is what the United States has done. This is how we know that the United States is Babylon the Great. The Lord does not go by the terms that man names things. He goes by the things that he has put down and things that he has put into the scriptures for us to understand the times. Okay. Jeremiah 51:7, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore the nations are mad. And you can see that here. Venezuela, Russia, Iran, all right, France, Germany. These nations are all mad. They're all getting sick of you Americans, you so-called white people, you self-proclaimed white people here in Babylon the Great, which is America. All right. And now the nations are mad. Okay. And what's going to happen to what's going to happen to Babylon? All right. What's going to happen to Babylon in the end? Jeremiah 51:11. Make bright the arrows, the thermonuclear destructive missiles. Gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, for his device is against Babylon. All right, so the Most High is raising up armies against this place. He's raising up a spirit against this place. And it's going to be led by the Russians. All right. What are they going to do, though? For his device, what is the Lord going to do with the Russians? For his device is against Babylon the Great, or America, to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, the vengeance of his temple. All right, so in the end, this place is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear destructive missiles. Why? For his wickedness. Why? Because it's iniquity. Okay, and this is what all we're saying and telling you. All right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. All right, so there is no making America great again. This is the end for the biblical Edomites, the self-proclaimed white man here in America, Babylon the Great. So with that, Lord willing, it was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, by Shem Yahushai, by Shem Kakwadash, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone for teaching and ruling well in the scriptures, and salutations to Akim across the world, pushing his word in truth and in sincerity. Shalom, Abad, Babal.